At just 38, Kalen Jackson is already co-owner of the NFL's Indianapolis Colts.
What is your vision for the Colts? I assume it's to win a Super Bowl.
Yes. What's your favorite thing to make?
And she's leading her team in donating tens of millions of dollars to charity, feeding school kids eligible for free lunch.
I like how they make the mac and cheese.
Kicking the stigma with its focus on mental health research is the Colts' signature initiative, and it's personal for Jackson and her sisters.
Was kicking the stigma your father's way of reaching out to people who struggle by saying, look, I get it. I know it's not easy.
People were just waiting for someone to care.
And it's working.
I didn't feel like I needed to hurt myself anymore.
Kalen Jackson and the Indianapolis Colts are setting trends. That's today on Inspired Lives Athletes. Kalen Jackson is co-owner of the Indianapolis Colts, one of just a few women who own NFL teams.
It feels funny.
I met with Jackson at the Colts facility in Indianapolis, and our conversation began with her leadership role atop a male-dominated industry.
There are 32 NFL teams. 22 teams are owned by men. 10, including the Colts, have women in various positions of ownership. So you, Kalen, are in a group of just 10. How are you being treated?
I think having this be a business that's been in our family for now is our third generation definitely matters. But we've always been respected at the league level. And my dad, from a very young age, this is what he always dreamed would be. It's a really bittersweet moment, when that time came, because I think of all the times he would talk about this dream of his to see us do this together and see women, really in particular, take hold of such an important business.
Jackson and her sisters, Carly and Casey, pictured here from left to right, share ownership of the Colts after the passing of their father, Jim Irsay, in May 2025. Irsay had been principal owner of the Colts for almost 30 years.
Are you and your sisters trendsetters for women in the NFL?
I think on accident would probably be the right answer.
Not purposefully.
Not purposefully. I think it's something, like I said, it's such a natural thing, obviously, for us when you grow up with this being something that was encouraged, and you had a dad and a mom who wanted you to do whatever you wanted to do and told you could do it. And I think that I always said my dad was the ultimate girl dad before that was a term, because he reminded us at every turn, you belong here, you will earn this seat at the table, and this is how.
Should there be more female owners in the NFL?
I mean, I hope to see it. I think it's one of those things where I also hope to see someday where it's not so shocking. You know what I mean? That we get to a point where it's not such a storyline that women are at the top and that it's just how it is. Are we supporting women enough? We can always do more. And so I think we've put some really unique things in place. And so is the league. You don't get to where you are in a couple years having 15 full-time female coaches by just hoping it happens. It took a little bit of effort.
Jackson and her sisters represent the third generation of Irsay family ownership of the Colts. But now, for the first time, the women no longer share team ownership responsibilities with their father.
You and your sisters have greater responsibility now. Would you agree?
Yeah.
The buck stops with you. Does that add greater pressure toward your goal of succeeding?
That's a great question. I honestly think because of the way our dad trusted us and made us understand the pressure as a family, like it was a collective feeling for so long that although, yes, the buck stopped with him and people would talk about him and now that's us, we were right there alongside him, with big decisions or maybe unpopular decisions.
As an example of a big decision, the pressure that came with it, and the lessons she and her sisters learned in the process, Jackson shared the behind-the-scenes story of the 1998 NFL Draft, when Jim Irsay and the Colts selected University of Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning #1.
And although people like to say they knew we were going to pick Peyton Manning, it was a big debate at the time whether we're going to pick Ryan Leaf or Peyton Manning. And he's telling us that's who we're picking. And I'm 10. And so that gives you a little bit of understanding of we understood the seriousness then. We understood the pressure of knowing stuff like that then. And I think a lot of people might say, did that bring, unwanted pressure, or did you feel stressed by that pressure? And we never did.
What is your vision for the Colts? I assume it's to win a Super Bowl.
Yes. I would think that it's no secret that, in the last few years, it has not been good enough. It has not met the standards of where we want to be, and that's no secret, which is at the top of the mountain again in winning a Super Bowl. And that is the goal.
The Colts last won the Super Bowl and took home the Vince Lombardi Trophy in 2007.
What's your favorite thing to make?
During our visit, Jackson met with students at Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School, where 87% of students qualify for free and reduced lunch.
You like the avocado in it?
Jackson, who heads up the Colts charitable work, is partnering with Indianapolis anti-poverty organization A Longer Table, providing every student here with a full and happy belly, including 9-year-old Mia.
I like how they make the mac and cheese.
Meals in the cafeteria, where the walls proudly display the school's Colts partnership, are not created in a vacuum. Lucy, an 8th grader, is one of several student taste testers who have a say in what's on the menu.
I remember I like this chicken sandwich a lot, and so I said, I wrote down that this could be really good for a substitute teriyaki chicken, because some people might not like how slimy or how powerful the taste in teriyaki chicken is.
Watching all of this come together in real time
Is so inspiring, because to be able to give children the nutrition that they need, to be able to not only be mentally strong and physically strong, it enables them to get through their day, also learn about different elements of cooking, and all of those elements I think is so important. Well, this is just really cool what you guys do back here.
The Colts have donated $1 million to this project, which also provides jobs for students' parents, who often struggle making ends meet. You'll remember little Mia. This is her mom, Fabi, who works in the kitchen as a cook, with the peace of mind that her daughter is close by.
A mí me gusta trabajar en la misma escuela con mi niña porque
I love to work in the same school as my daughter because I know if she's dealing with any issues, and I also know that she's able to eat food that is 100% healthy every single day.
The Colts and A Longer Table are doing even more, offering high school work-study students experience toward a career. Among them, 17-year-old Macion.
I really enjoy doing this, so I've been thinking of like something with restaurant, catering, something like that.
In your work with A Longer Table, you're providing healthy food, jobs, and career training. Why do you do it?
I think people have all different reasons as to why they feel they're here, on this earth. And I genuinely feel that my purpose is to be of service to others and try to showcase the amazing work that people are doing in our communities.
Are you always this passionate?
People tell me I am. It's funny. When I talk about the community and the team, I don't do things that I don't care about. I really have to believe in what I'm doing. That's just part of who I am. I can't fake it. I'm definitely somebody who wears their heart on their sleeve.
Jackson also cares about mental health, leading the Colts' $32 million Kicking the Stigma campaign, working toward helping people combat feelings of shame associated with mental illness. The Colts are bringing kids together at community events with the message that it's okay to ask for help. The message
has really just opened my eyes to how, the lack of talk there is about mental health at my school. So I've just been really trying to push the conversation.
In a state where the Colts estimate 60% of the 1 million Hoosiers diagnosed with a mental health condition never get the help they need, the conversation is necessary.
April and John, nice to meet you guys.
And it is making a difference. That $32 million mental health investment the Colts have made is helping 12-year-old Carter and his mom and dad, April and John. When Carter was 9, he began having suicidal thoughts.
I just felt very dull, sad, angry sometimes.
Devastating is, I can still feel the feeling that I felt when he told me those words. It's, as a child, they should be happy.
Carter began 6 weeks of group therapy with other kids his age at Ascension St. Vincent Stress Center in Indianapolis, one of the community organizations funded by the Colts Kicking the Stigma program. As his therapy sessions were finishing up, Carter's suicidal thoughts began to lift.
I just felt like I was really loved and stuff. I didn't feel like I needed to hurt myself anymore.
Just being able to smile. I didn't see a smile for so long with him during that time. So just to see a little spark of joy was just warmed my heart.
During Carter's 6 weeks of therapy, April and John were in group therapy of their own at Ascension St. Vincent, with caregivers of kids who were struggling with mental health issues just like their son. In those common struggles came relief.
Because you don't see that on a regular basis, but once you get everybody together and you hear the stories, you know that there's more people out there. And, and even the stories that I told, how did that help the other people? So you can see the relief on their face too.
And seeing the positive outcome
Is one of the most gratifying parts of the entire initiative.
And with success comes additional support. April, a registered nurse, was so happy with Carter's growth at Ascension St. Vincent that she's joined its team of psychiatric nurses.
Everything became mental health, everything. I'm like, how can we be more positive? How can we change the world?
Rita Langlois of Ascension St. Vincent said in partnership, there's a healing message.
And with the wide visibility of the NFL on the Colts, Indianapolis has been about the Colts and the Irsay family, it raises our brand. Their brand raises our brand. And then the Stress Center gets this beautiful messaging around it's okay to need help.
Kicking the Stigma, with its focus on mental health research and awareness, is the Colts' signature initiative, and it's personal for Jackson and her sisters. Their father, Jim Irsay, struggled with addiction and mental health, often speaking publicly about his struggles. In 2020, the family committed to making a significant impact in mental health care, an issue that struck especially close to home.
Was Kicking the Stigma your father's way of reaching out to people who struggle by saying, look, I get it. I know it's not easy, but there's help out there. Here's how you can access it, and don't be ashamed.
Yeah. Kicking the Stigma became bigger than I think any of us imagined it would be. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is because people were just waiting for someone to care.
As you move ahead now, without your father, is the continuing work of Kicking the Stigma a tribute to him?
I think Kicking the Stigma will always be a tribute to him. I think that not only sharing his story and being vulnerable was at the crux of what made this so successful to begin with, but he was willing to put a lot of funding behind it to begin with to get it off the ground.
JT, get in here. Wait, hang on.
That guy's for you.
On our last night in town, the Colts held their annual Kicking the Stigma Gala, where supporters include Colts running back Jonathan Taylor.
It's okay to go to someone and say, hey, how is your day going? How are you? Not so good. I'm not doing really well today. Because everyone has those quick interactions and they're almost transactional. It's almost like on autopilot. But it's always good to truly check in on someone because you never know. Your words that day could lead them down a different trajectory for the rest of the day, week, month. Here we go.
Colts head coach Shane Steichen is also an advocate.
Sometimes in life when, things aren't going your way and you do need the help, it's okay to reach out for help.
He's done in our event in particular, as heavy and dark as some parts of this space can be, we really try to shine a light on the hope part of it.
The Indianapolis Colts won the Super Bowl in 2007, winning the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Colts owner Jim Irsay and his daughter shared the spoils of victory at the White House and in a parade through Indianapolis, where celebrating this iconic award never loses its luster, as I learned back at Colts headquarters.
Does it ever get old looking at this, touching this, or talking about it?
No, but the only thing that we say gets old is we want to get back here and add one.
Earlier, Jackson outlined the vision she and her sisters have for building their next Super Bowl champion.
I'm interested in your process toward that goal. What are the steps you're taking to ensure another Super Bowl victory for the Colts?
Yeah. I think it's not really any different than what my dad put in place when we did. And I think that we will continue to lead in the way that he did, which is staying out of the way and letting the people that we put in place that we think are here to get us back there do their job. And we feel that we are setting ourselves up for that exact thing.
Jackson, who is just 38 years old, already co-owner of an NFL franchise, and leading her team in donating tens of millions of dollars to charity, has an idea on how she'd like her story written. A story influenced heavily by her father.
We hope that it looks really similar to what he was able to bring to this city and this state, and the honor he was able to bring to the horseshoe logo is a lot to live up to. He brought Indy its first Super Bowl.
A female imprint on a game that has long been a male domain is also part of Jackson's vision. A vision encouraged by her father for as long as she can remember.
Was your dad a feminist?
Absolutely. It's funny because, of course, growing up, if you want to know how we were treated, it was well, but we did get questions like, oh, does your dad wish he had a boy? I don't even think of that because he so shoved that type of conversation away and squashed it instantly. He used to say, no, I wish I had 6 girls, to be honest with you, because I feel like I could do even more.
Jim Irsay, the feminist, would certainly be proud of his daughter, the role model.
Are you a role model for young women?
People tell me I am. I think for me, again, talk about how we were raised and all those things. One of the most important values that we were raised with was being humble. And I think, that also goes back to values you're raised with, that knowing that if I'm transparent and honest and authentic, then I hope to continue to be a good role model in that way.
Do women bring a perspective to the NFL that men don't? And if that's true, is it a perspective that enhances the NFL?
The answer is yes. Do I think women bring a unique perspective to football? Absolutely. I think that you need both sides. I think that the league has had the success it's had and continued to grow because of those different perspectives and not just a one-track mind. And I think it would be incomplete without a female perspective. And he always said, and it's a line that I will keep with me till the day I pass too, is don't you dare give up 5 minutes before the miracle, because you don't know when it's coming. And I'll find the one thing that gives you enough hope to keep hanging on, because you don't know when that miracle is coming.